Hello, everyone, and welcome back to New Pokemon Snap. We're finally done with water, so let's go to frozen water.
Oh.
Wait
Yay.
a minute.
Well, when you think about it, everything is at least a little bit water. Every living thing, anyway. So we're really just starting with very little water, then going to medium water, then going to very dense water everywhere.
What the fuck is medium water?
Liquid water.
You know, when you go to a fast food place and it's like, all right, what would you like to drink, sir?
That's
It's
the-
like, oh, a medium water.
Look, that's
Oh,
the
so
difference.
it's for you from streets.
That's essentially the difference between liquid and solid is that
No, that's water without any ice.
is
yeah, but you would also
and-
order it in a medium glass, not a large or a small.
did he
medium.
just not like the apple?
No, I bonked him in the head.
Oh, okay. Oh, Alolan Sandslash, which should be called Snowslash.
Okay, actually, I'm going to go into a completely nitpicky rant, but I actually dislike that they introduced evolutions for the Galarian forms in Gen 8, but then the evolutions aren't just like, oh, it's Persian Alolan form. It's like, oh, now it's a completely new Pokemon. And I'm
yeah, it's
like,
like,
that
what is the,
that
then what
annoys
is the
me.
Alolan? Yeah, it's like the one of the Alolan ones.
What do you mean? Like
So, like,
There's a Galarian Meowth that has a completely different evolution to a different Pokemon.
Huh.
But for some reason, there's the Alolan Meowth and the Alolan Persian. It's like, why is the Alolan Persian not a different species?
Huh.
yeah, it's a completely pedantic, nitpicky thing, but it still annoys me.
It's probably because like they were exploring the idea of regional variants in Sun and Moon, and they decided to take the idea further by the time they got to Sword and Shield.
Aw, Swinub. I love Swinub. The adorable
Stop
little
the shit out of that
shit.
fucking snow.
Okay, but I actually don't like Piloswine. No. Piloswine's the second Evolve right?
This is Mamoswine, yes.
Mamoswine. I don't like either Evolve form, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Like, I know I'm instinctively driven to dislike the
Oh man.
final form, but I don't like
because
Piloswine either.
It's because it loses the one trait that Swinub and what was it the other one?
Piloswine.
Piloswine.
Look, primitive humans.
Because you couldn't see their eyes beforehand. Now you
Primitive
can.
humans hunted the woolly.
And it kind of loses
Primitive
something.
humans hunted the woolly mammoth to extinction, and nowadays we eat way too much bacon. So this Pokemon is fucked. Like,
I think that I remember seeing
Hi,
some kind
Glaceon.
of science thing where it's like they could bring back a woolly mammoth and like
Well, because here's the thing. Woolly mammoths were still around until well into human history. I think the last ones were like maybe 2,000-3,000 years ago.
well, part of it is that.
So they're reasonably close to what we have now, so we could potentially use
Well,
them for other things.
Part of it is that the scientific what if behind Jurassic Park was what if we could get together enough genetic information to clone an extinct species. We could probably do that with more recent species. The big barrier for dinosaurs is that they existed so long ago that most DNA sources that we would have degraded beyond usefulness.
Also, they have no close enough relative that we could use as a surrogate, mother or something.
That too, yes.
yeah.
But like,
I mean that is I think part of what makes a lot of good science fiction is that the science isn't that far off from reality.
yeah,
know.
and a woolly mammoth is close enough to today that a lot of the barriers, not that they don't exist, but they're not as big as they are for something more ancient.
I mean, what are woolly mammoths but just hairy elephants for the most part? Alolan Vulpix.
Alolan Ninetales is ice fairy or
Fairy.
just ice?
Ice fairy.
Ice fairy, okay, yeah.
Also, if you snapped a picture of Glaceon earlier on the hill, if you throw a bunch of apples onto the little platform in the middle of the water, you can get Glaceon to jump down.
Glitch just waiting for the moment to strike.
One thing that I kind of wish is that the game had a better handling of pictures with multiple Pokemon in them.
You do get extra points if there are other Pokemon in there, but it
Yeah,
will only
but
count for one or the other.
Yeah, it's a little, and it's also kind of finicky as to what it'll count. It's a bit dumb.
Yeah, it's
Also, you can see Glaceon in the
it's
background
like
there.
you catch a picture of the Pikachu cheering for the surfing Raichu. And it might count for the Pikachu or it might count for the Raichu, depending on which one's closer to the center. But you won't be able to submit that picture for both.
I'm wondering how hard it would be to program the game so that if it notices that you took a picture of a certain event, like just as an example, the Alolan Raichu. So like it knows that this is a picture of the Alolan Raichu performing. And so if it knows that specific event, if then it also sees a Pikachu in that picture, it knows to give you bonus points because you got the Pikachu cheering for it. To saying it out loud, it sounds like something they could program, but I also know nothing about programming, so it's probably way harder than I thought it was.
Snorunt up there doing his sick aerial breakdance moves.
Oh man, Bear Arctic, like this Pokemon makes me uncomfortable in both of its forms because with Cubchoo, it's got the anime snot nose, which is gross, but Bear Arctic has the crotch fur, which just makes me really uncomfortable. So I don't know which one.
Ladies.
I don't know which one makes me more uncomfortable though, because either one's running its nose on me, the other is way too excited to see me. I'm not okay with
I would say
either.
the nose running makes me more
played
uncomfortable.
way too much God of War to ever be disturbed by something as pedestrian as cartoon crotch fur. So
Yeah, but it's so erect though, is the thing. Like he specifically combs it to stick up like that and puts gel in it. Like that's way too much effort, man.
Yeah, the player like he licks his hand and then like rubs the crotch fur in reverse so that it sticks out, like applying hair gel.
Yeah, it's like no, man. Like,
yeah, I don't think that's as gross as just snot.
What do you think he's using as hair gel?
I mean, granted.
I could see. What's the name of that Pokemon? The evolved form.
For Swinub or Cubchoo?
It's Cubchoo.
Cubchoo and Beartic.
Bartic?
Pokemon.
Bartic.
Pikachu.
Well,
Jigglypuff.
whatever it's called, at that point, I can just see it shilling for Manscaped. So.
Oh man, that brings me back. The people definitely got punched on the playground for trying to pronounce Gyarados back in the day. No, it's Gyarados. I heard it on the TV show. You don't understand. It's Gyarados. Oh, it only got worse when Gen 3 came out too, because trying to pronounce Kyogre, that's not happening.
I think the only one that actively gave me trouble because I kept hearing so many fucking different pronunciations for it was Pidgeot.
Suicune? Nobody ever had trouble pronouncing Suicune?
No.
Really?
Well, it wasn't brought up as often, I feel.
Because as a kid, I called it Suicune for like 10 years.
I always pronounced it with a hard C.
Yeah, Suicune.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, we always called it Suicune or Suicune or something like that. We overpronounced the I.
Sweet. Good.
Alright, so now we're going to go to...
Unfortunately, it's not part pig.
Yeah. We are going to the Icelands at night.
Oh, God. You see, we were talking about the beach at night, and, like, I understand, like, the appeal. But being out in the cold during the day is miserable enough. It's way worse at night. Screw it. I hate the winter.
Depends on the humidity, honestly.
For the humidity when it's cold?
Yeah, because you can have moisture in the air even when it's still cold.
I hate it. I hate it cold and I hate it cold.
Winter at night can suck unless it's snowing. Then I love it.
No, I hate it when it's snowing.
Look,
when
you have this kind of...
I just love how the snow absorbing the sound, and you're just like walking and it's so dead quiet.
Look, when you've got this kind of starry sky out in a snowy forest, that's some idyllic as fuck scenery.
Like, okay, yeah, sure, I'd like looking at a painting of a snowy night, sure, but we're not talking about a painting. I'm talking about like going out there, and it's like, no, screw that.
You got enough, like bundled clothing, and
oh, okay, I'm sorry. we're going into it. Like, I don't like the, you can just put on more clothes if you're cold. You see,
you
what
can.
happens there
That's how
is
clothes
that you've
work.
got so many bundles on that you start to sweat under your clothes, and then
Ralphie,
the
I
sweat
can't get up.
freezes, and then you're colder than where you were before, and it sucks. I hate it.
Help me,
This
Ralphie.
is assuming
I
you're
can't get
stripping
up.
in the middle of the dead fucking night. Why would you do that? Just wait
Did
until
we
you get
just
back inside.
face plant into the wall there?
Yes.
Oh, like we bulldozed through it. Crabominal. Holy fuck. Look at this. Yeti-looking
Abominable
motherfucker.
snow crab?
So
Yes,
this
and
is
and
actually
there's the abominable snowman.
that's another really good Pokemon from Gen 7, but it's really
Thanks,
annoying because it
Obama.
doesn't evolve until you're right before the Elite Four. So like you're using like a
Damn.
Island 1 Pokemon up through Island 4, and it's like I just get the stat boost, please. So what I do whenever I'm replaying Gen 7 and I want to use that Pokemon is like when I get to like level 30, I trade it to my other game, level it up
Evolve
once, and then bring it back. Is that cheating? Yeah, probably, but I really don't care.
Run for it.
It didn't want to write you a love song because he asked for it.
Because he asked for it. So did Furret write you a love song then?
That squirrel's dead.
Well, it's a
was
weasel,
ferret.
but weasel ferret, yeah.
Oh, sorry. This episode of BrainScratch Comms is now never going to be replayed ever
No,
again.
she's
No,
she's
she's
purple.
fine.
She's purple now.
Yeah, she's purple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So,
Jynx is another Pokemon that I feel uncomfortable catching because that's just a person without a nose.
Well, it's supposed to be a Yukiona, but
you're just
what's
gonna...
a Yukiona?
a snow woman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was gonna say, you're just gonna harass that Jynx and not actually take a picture of her?
Well, what you can do is if you wake that one up and lead it over here, and then you hit the Illumina orb, you can get something to pop out of the ice there.
Oh, I see.
What I think would be cool, were they to make a Pokemon Snap 3, is to have some sort of rewind feature. So that if you miss something like that, you can get another shot at it.
Q Celine Dion here.
Jinx, Jinx.
It took me a moment to
Jinx, 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 Jinx.
It took me to realize
No,
that the...
Ted, it needs to speak exclusively in the 8-bit.
It took me a moment to
Bwah,
realize...
bwah, 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 bwah.
It took me a moment to
delayed.
realize that the iceberg she's floating on is also a Pokemon.
Yeah, it's an Avalugg. But if you actually hit the Jynx with the Illumina orb, which I did, look who it is. It's the guy we were talking about earlier.
Oh, it's Suicune.
Man, that one guy in Gen 2's been searching for you for years, and we just happened to run into you.
Get out of the way, Bear Tick.
Look, it's
Look,
Cubchoo.
I'm sorry. but
Aurora Borealis in this video game, in this location, precisely located next to a Suicune.
Yes,
Can we take a picture of it?
sure.
But will you?
Yes, I already took a picture of it.
Oh, god damn
Not
it.
the
Ryan,
Hi,
you're
look-
ruining the joke.
Not the Suicune.
Look at the size of that Aurora beam.
I really need to read his Dark Materials again.
Oh, that's
Did
cute.
you watch the HBO show?
No.
Oh, because there's an HBO show now. Don't know how
Yeah,
good it is,
but-
but I know it certainly exists.
Counterpoint, why would I ever pay for HBO?
I'm not saying you need to pay for it. I'm just saying that you can watch it on that.
Yeah, what does that even mean nowadays? Are you talking about the cable channel or the subscription service?
Yeah, HBO Max or the channel.
Is there a difference anymore?
Well, no, not really. Santa.
Poor Delibird. He exists to...
Be a gimmick, and that's it.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of gimmick Pokemon that, like, outlive their gimmickness. Like, he's not even really a gimmick Pokemon. This is a Pokemon we can have for Christmas.
Man,
merch
do you remember
Pokemon.
when channels used to have names that indicated what they were on television? Like, there was HBO, which is home box office, so it was movies. There was MTV, which is music TV, so it was music videos.
Oh, they stopped showing music on MTV.
There was
like when I
Cartoon
was a kid.
Network, which was Cartoon Network, so it was cartoons. that went out the window.
Yeah, but what the hell is Nickelodeon?
Yeah,
Well,
also...
Nickelodeon is a reference to an old style short that you would pay a nickel to watch over like the stereoscope things.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a lot of them were also pretty redundant, though. Like, there's ABC, American Broadcast Network, NBC, National Broadcast Network.
Company.
Network? I think you mean channel.
Company. Or company.
That would be the
Whatever.
That
You
would
know
be
what
the
I
word
mean.
that starts with a C.
Network can start with a C
National
if you
Broadcast
turn
Cookie.
the end sideways.
So, question: like, if you like score particularly high in a particular category, is that why there are like these sparkly diamond stars?
Yeah, there's bronze, silver, gold, and diamond or crystal, whatever it is. But basically, if you get over 4,000 points, you get a diamond.
Interesting.
Diamond rank.
So the goal is to eventually get a diamond rating in all 4-star rankings.
Yes. Okay, Suicune, bye, Suicune.
Good luck getting all 4-star rankings for the legendaries, though.
Well, and it's all just about knowing how to manipulate things.
Yeah, but there's only
That's
one.
why I think a rewind
So
feature
says I, the creator.
would be neat. Like, maybe you can't... Like, maybe you have the option to rewind back to a certain checkpoint, but you lose all the photos you've taken up to that point, if only just to make the trial and error process take a little bit less time.
Maybe as a
If you're looking for a
thing,
specific
sure.
Pokemon, sure.
Yeah, like, because just the... I mean, I understand the appeal of experimenting with the environment, but since there's no way to stop the car, like, it can seem kind of frustrating trying to get something specific to trigger.
You see, it's
Also, high-tech, you're playing Shin Megami Tensei
it's
3.
kind of a ride.
Yeah, that game's kind of... That game needed an actual remaster and not just a port that they slightly shinied.
You know what? While they're making park sims and stuff, they should make a version of Pokemon Snap for Jurassic Park. Hire me, please.
No. I think I'll steal that idea and claim it as my own.
Oh.
No one will ever know.
Well, except for
A
the
runabout.
fact that you've just admitted your plan on video.
I'll steal it! No one will ever know!
No one will ever know!
I was like, you know,
Oh boy, it's a cave.
it's like, you know, after the dinosaurs all escaped to the wild at the end of Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom, which is to say at the end of the very first novel, because that happened at the end of the first novel and the movies just forgot about it. Some eccentric rich guy hires a master photographer to just, you know, journey around the world taking pictures of these wonderful creatures. Or, you know,
I like that Gengar is just like strolling.
they could just
like-
do the Lost World Jurassic Park again, except without the bad guys, so Ian Malcolm and the crew have like free reign to go around the island and assemble a complete photo record of these animals in their natural habitat. That would be amazing.
And then John Hammond only accepts one photo at a time, so they have to keep going back out into the field.
Oh my god, I'd rather die.
You probably will.
That's a lovely photo of a Velociraptor. That was a 1-star ranking. Now go out there and take another photo, but I have them right here. Go out and take another photo.
That Velociraptor almost ate my leg. Did I
I
stutter?
don't care.
I almost fucking died from a pack of velociraptors going for my fucking head.
Oh my god, are they referencing the Clefairy Gengar meme?
Yes, they are.
Oh my god, that's
Well, the Clefable Gengar meme, but yes.
Did you scare
that's
the Gengar
genius.
What?
Did you scare the Gengar away?
Yes.
I mean, if someone pelted me with an apple and I didn't see where it was coming from, I'd
No,
run
they're
through.
light and they just bonk off and don't hurt you, John.
It's a ghost.
Okay, sure.
It should phase through.
Obviously, that's a grass type apple. So
You know what's funny though? You say that, but I think going from Haunter to Gengar, there's something about Gengar that just seems more solid.
yeah, no, I
Even
agree.
though I think technically Gengar is still like a gas.
Well, because it has the legs and stuff, I think is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks more like it's just kind of walking around like doop-de-doo as opposed to being like a floaty ghost.
I've never actually been fond of Gengar's design. One of the things
I've always thought Haunter looks cooler. I agree.
Yeah, one of the things about Pokemon is that a lot of the time, like for the sake of having evolved forms, they kind of come up with designs for these forms that aren't necessarily all that interesting to look at. Like, Charmander's cute. Charizard is badass, but does anyone actually like Charmeleon?
Middle stage evolutions tend to have that issue, which is weird in terms of Haunter, because Haunter is one of the mid stage evolutions that looks cooler. In my
All right,
opinion.
so we Illumina orbed all those 3 Pokemon, so guess who's here? DNCA.
Oh, that's the Gen 6 special one, right?
Mythical, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, well, it's weird because Mew's here, Celebi's here, Jirachi we'll see later. Manipee's here, DNC's here, but Victini's not in the game.
Victini's like my favorite mythical one. Like, that thing's a boss.
But yeah, but since we got DNC, we can go this way.
This thing is less wary of you now. Let's throw apples at it and make it wary. It needs to know its place.
So why did it say that it seems less wary of you now? Is that like...
Well, because the NCA lit up the room or
Oh,
something.
I see.
don't know. There's a lot of weird cause and effect in this game.
Interesting.
You wouldn't think would lead to other things, so...
It is cool to be able to explore these kinds of natural environments that you wouldn't be able to explore as a Pokemon trainer in the main series.
Well, yeah, because they're all linear paths now. Hey-o.
What?
The main series is just a string of hallways nowadays.
Well, it was always a string of hallways, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, places where, like, a physical person...
No, Rock Tunnel was a string
I'm
of hallways.
talking about places where a physical person can't really go. Like...
I would like them to try to do more of that in the main series games. Like, not
Well,
only would
yeah,
it add some
but
more environment
try-
variety, but like...
try to come up with a situation in your head where a young teenager is exploring this kind of place where there's no actual like physical path to travel on foot.
Like, I think that probably, like, could work, honestly, because if you use your imagination back in the day, like, that's kind of what's happening when you go to, like, Seafoam Islands and stuff like that, or, like, the abandoned power plant. Like, those really aren't places that you should be able to walk around freely, and that's why there's, like,
But
traps and puzzles and stuff.
so-
But you can, just because it's a Game Boy game that's 8-bit, you know?
You're still going around on foot though. There aren't any like weird vehicles or anything. That was a good picture. Like,
Well, like, that's kind of why I'm getting, like, if you use your imagination, like,
If you use your imagination,
Seafoam Island,
you're still a
for
kid
example,
walking
like, you have to
around.
push all the rocks down the holes and then fall down the hole on top of the rock you landed in order to get the current to go in a specific way. Like, that's not something that,
Not to mention, you had to use your Pokemon to serve around the area.
yeah,
too, so-
like, you really shouldn't be able to fall down a 10-foot gap as a teenager, you know, walking around down there. But, you know, it's just that you kind of filled in the blanks in your head as a kid and when you were playing on 8-bit hardware. It's just, it feels a little bit less like you can do that in the more modern games because, like, the graphics are good enough that you aren't filling in those details in your brain. It's just, oh, it is just a cave and the ground is clear enough for you to walk on, you know.
yeah, but like even when they progress to more sophisticated graphics, the structure of the cave doesn't really get as wild and crazy as this one was.
That
guess
is-
what
No,
I'm
I
saying.
think it's but at that point though, that's just them just adhering to a formula they already established.
Yeah, because it
has nothing to
felt
do with
like you were
limitations.
exploring somewhere that you wouldn't have been able to when you're playing the game in 8-bit and you're filling in the gaps in your head. When you have the same layout, but it looks like a normal cave with flat ground on HD graphics, it doesn't have that same feeling anymore. So it's just one of those things where if you want to evoke that same feeling in the modern day, you have to make the ground actually look like you can't walk over it and implement some sort of system and stuff like that, which obviously is a lot harder to do.
You know,
We didn't see a single Zubat in that cave. Worst game ever.
Well,
0 out of 10.
there were Crobats in the cave.
I
though.
know.
Yeah, but those aren't Zubats.
I know it will never happen because Game Freak is fundamentally trying to churn out pulp fiction in video game form. But, like, I really wish.
Now, when you say Pulp Fiction,
He
you're
means
talking
the
about
old,
like
he
them
means
having a.
the old style of like trash media that you're meant to throw away, not
Yeah.
the.
Oh,
Tarantino
okay. I thought they
movie.
were talking about like there's a GIMP scene where they butt fuck Marcellus.
No, I mean the actual origin of the phrase.
Okay.
What did
My
they call a Big Mac in the
I
Sinnoh?
guess
I don't know. They use a metric system.
I know they'd never.
a quarter
I know
pounder
they'd
with
never
cheese.
do it because it's too much work. But I really wish we'd see a Pokemon game where the Pokemon behave like they do in Pokemon Snap, rather than just being random battles that don't have a random battle system anymore.
That's the hope that Arceus does that. It's the question of
Are they
whether or
skilled
not
enough
they
to
will
do it?
actually do it, and we
The
won't
answer is
know.
probably no, based on their track record.
Yeah, but that's a we'll have to wait and see sort of thing.